From Lalate News headquarters in Santa Monica, this is Mornings Lalate.
Wednesday, March 3rd, 2021, and it's Mornings Lalate. A change has been confirmed for your $1,400 third stimulus check package bill that could be signed by the President of the United States this week. Wall Street's reporting mixed numbers to start the new day. As third stimulus check excitement grows, the Senate is set to promptly remove the $15 minimum wage from the bill, and the vote starts today. This now sets up in place a path to get your $1,400 third stimulus check land in your bank account as early as this week. Meantime, Wall Street sees the bond market rising, tech stocks slumping again as America awaits your third stimulus check. We have all the great news from across the land as the first hour of Mornings LA starts right now. Good morning, everyone. Wall Street awaits your $1,400 third stimulus check as phase-out levels for the check have been modified. The White House had meetings this morning that would change the phase-outs of the $1,400 stimulus check as following. The stimulus check would still come, thank you, Jill, for the super chat. The phase-out would still come starting at $75,000. You would still get a stimulus check if you made less than $75,000, but the phase-out would normally be at $100,000 for individuals. It would now be at $80,000, $112,000 for head of households. And the cap for joint filers would be reduced slightly as well. But you're getting your $14 third stimulus check. Good morning, and how are you? It's a great morning. It's Mornings LA. How are you? You're getting a $1,400 third stimulus check. The president made an announcement minutes ago that he's confirming he has made a modification. What's that modification? Nothing you should be worried about. It means that the Democrats have the full support to get this done. I have all the huge news, and there's Jill Barrow with another dancing bear. I have all the huge, great news of the day. If you're just joining me, this is Mornings LA, part of our 6 hours of live programming on this channel. 2 hours on mornings, 2 hours on noon, and 2 hours on afternoons. Today, I started a little bit late. The show is 30 minutes late, so it is normally in the purple spot. We'll be running about 15 minutes late for the morning shows. So there'll be 2 morning shows. There'll be another one right after this. About what? About this person, Senator Elizabeth Warren, and her SSI and SSDI push. That's coming up right after this, in 20 minutes from this, as the continuation of Mornings LA unfolds. But in this recording, I'm going to go over your $1,400 third stimulus check, which is getting called for a vote, is getting a modification. Thank you, Pamela, for the super chat. The multiple. Thank you, Anita, for the super chat as well. The multiple stimulus checks. Thank you, Ricardo, for the super chat as well. The multiple stimulus checks for the fourth stimulus package that came yesterday, as millions of Americans wonder, wait, what's happening? It came from this person, Bernie Sanders. Thank you, Jimmy, for becoming a Purple Power member. If you've not become a member, then today at least become a subscriber. Hit that subscribe button right now. Like this video. This channel is on fire with you. We had our biggest numbers yesterday and the day before in 3.5 weeks. Biggest subscriber growth, biggest viewership numbers, biggest longtime viewers. So come on in. Hit that like button and become a subscriber. Hit that subscriber button. There is something across the board for everyone today on this channel. Let's go to the details. First, the $1,400 third stimulus check will be called for a vote in the Senate as early as today. Thank you for the super chat from Michelle. And call for a vote as early as today. The chatter in the Senate started this morning. It's continuing across the board. That's the first thing. The second thing, which came out of nowhere, is this. The President of the United States had meetings this morning about what would be called a phase out. I don't cover it too much on this channel. Thank you, Brother Joshua, for the dancing, the time 11. I don't talk about phase outs too much, so you don't hear about them so much, but let me go over it. The phase out refers to the following. If you make less than $75,000, you're getting a $14 stimulus check. That was the bill that was passed in the House. It's the bill in the Senate today. It will be the bill when it becomes law. So what's the change, Lalate? If it's the same, then what's the change? It's not the $75,000 they're changing today. They're changing what's called the phase out. How high could you still get a stimulus check? Remember, if you made $80,000, you get a stimulus check as well, just not $1,400, maybe $1,300. And if you made $90,000, you're not getting a $14 stimulus check, maybe you get $1,100. It starts to get smaller. It's called the phase out. I don't cover it that much on this channel. So what happened this morning? The president met with moderate Democrats, you know who they are, who said, you know what? Can we make some moderate Senate Democrats? Thank you, Beth, for becoming the Purple Power. And he asked, everyone welcome Beth to the family. He asked, what do you want, moderate Democrats? They said, we don't want that phase out at 100,000. We want it a little bit lower. And he said, okay, I'll phase it out lower. Where do you want to phase it out at? 80,000. He said, done, deal. I'll phase it out at $80,000, meaning if you made $90,000, you wouldn't get a stimulus check. I don't think you should get a stimulus check if you're making $90,000. And there is Ira for the super chat. I really appreciate it. So bottom line, making less than $75,000, you're getting a stimulus check. SSI, SSDI, you're getting a stimulus check. Thank you, William, for the cat's meow. It's just the people that are heading into the six figures, they were going to get a stimulus check, so their threshold may be reduced. Not a concern for the majority of the viewers of this channel. Great news. I got that. You got that. You understand that. If you've not subscribed, hit that subscribe button and like this video. All right, that's item number one. Item number two is the excitement today in the Senate. The Senate will be calling it for a vote as early as today, and it could be law as early as the end of this week. You know what I like about this phase out news? Is because the phase out was backed up with the reporting that now we got, thank you, Georgia, for the super chat. Nancy Pear, we now have support across all 50 Democrats to get this passed, with 51 that's deciding breaking vote from, thank you, Pamela, for becoming a Purple Hawk. Everyone welcome Pamela to the family. With VP Harris, now the deciding breaking vote, we have the support. It's going to pass. It's wonderful news. The Wall Street is reacting to the news this morning. Bond yields are rising, tech stocks are dropping. More about that shortly in this recording. But coming up, thank you, Barb, for the amazing comments and the super chat. America's looking across the country, waiting to see the stimulus. But how about a fourth stimulus package with multiple stimulus checks from this person? Oh, yes, baby. This came out of nowhere, as we learned yesterday that 11 Democrats in the Senate wrote the president a letter and said, we will agree to this $1,400 third stimulus check, but when you start to write the reopening plan, the plan for when America starts to reopen, and you bring it to us, it better not have a $14 stimulus check in there. It better have reoccurring stimulus checks. Wow. Multiple stimulus checks. That's the fourth stimulus package. Thank you, Sue, for becoming a Purple Power member, Purple Hawk. This is huge. Again, it's referring to not the third stimulus package, but using the third stimulus package vote as a broker of the fourth stimulus package. I love it. It's down and dirty. I love it. Basically saying, hey, you want our vote for the third stimulus package? You'll get our vote. Just when you do the fourth stimulus package, make sure you put reoccurring stimulus checks in there. And there's 11 of us, 11 out of 50 of us to start just in one day. Could be a lot more. 11 of the 50 of us saying, when you bring us the next bill, it has to have reoccurring stimulus checks. Wow, there's Liz, that would become Purple Hawk. This is huge. If you're just tuning in, we're live here from Los Angeles. The rain is about to come down. You can't dare tell because the window is closed. It is dropping, the weather, and the excitement across the country is just unfolding. Wall Street is dealing with a lot of things. I'm covering a lot of subjects today. You're going to see the passage of the $14 third stimulus check bill in this video. You're going to see more about the fourth stimulus package, the reoccurring stimulus check push. Then at the top of the hour, you're going to see the big news in about, we're running late, by the way. We're running about 15 minutes late, but I'm going to catch up by in the second half. Hey, Jewel, thank you for coming to Purple Hawk. The next recording right after this, in about 20 minutes, we'll go over the SSI and SSDI push from Elizabeth Warren. Oh my goodness, this is the wealth tax bill. This is just great. There's Christy, and there's Rose, and there's Janet, and there's Jerry, there's Tim Underwood, there's Pamela, there's Jason, there's Selva, Martha, and there's Sherry, there's Black Jelly, and there's Jared, and Renee, and there's Janie, and there's Elaine from Phoenix, Arizona. Judy, I love your TV show and introduction. I appreciate it. There's Sandy King, and there's Jennifer Turney from Indiana. How are you, Jen? There's Angela Lottie, and there's Black Jelly, and David, and Zamboro, and Dean Paul, and Z Drunk, and Molly, and Sean, and Mark, and Charles, and there's Angel, and Gail, and Andy, and there's Sean, and thank you, Kathleen, for the super chat. There's Mike Bronge, and there's Tina, and Jerry, and Vivian, and Dean. Wow, what a big day it is. There's so much happening. Let me cut over to what is happening across the board. Wall Street's seen the bond yields rise today. The tech stocks are falling. There's growing anticipation about the vaccine rollout, and that vaccine rollout anticipation is causing what you call the reopening play. There's a move into cyclical stocks, like American Airlines is up 4%, Carnival and Norwegian Cruise are up 6%. Energy sector is up 2%, while the S&P may be facing, this is Jerome Powell, but this comment's by Tom Essay, founder of Stevens Report. While the S&P may be facing structural headwinds due to the tech weakness, much of the rest of the market is actually doing quite well. Overall, most non-tech stocks are weathering the increase in the bond yield mark quite well. Thank you, Sean, for the super chat. Now, private payroll growth numbers. These are surprising. These look at growth across the country. Private payroll growth numbers came in this morning, and they were not particularly good. I'm going to have those details for you. How many jobs were added in trade, education, hospitality? The numbers were not particularly good. What does that mean for stimulus? It means for stimulus. It means getting that fourth stimulus package out quicker rather than sooner. I'll have all those details coming up in a second. But first, let me tell you a little bit more about the volunteers that can help you get money right now, not 5 weeks from now and not 5 months from now. They're the volunteers on the community page. If you want money right now, not 5 days from now and not 5 weeks from now, then reach out to the community page. The volunteers can help you find that money for rent and utilities. That's at news.lalate.com/community. The community page features a series of volunteers who are viewers like you. They can help you find rent, utilities, SNAP, food benefits, mortgage assistance, and help you with eviction moratorium questions as well. Their Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram individuals reach out to them and indicate the city and state you're from, and they'll get back to you shortly. That's a community page. Volunteers working for you, viewers helping one another. Stay with LA for more. Join Lalate Daily for the excitement of the new Lalate live daily. The excitement starts on Mornings Lalate at 9 a.m. Home Lalate returns at 11 a.m. daily. And then afternoons Lalate at 1 p.m. Join us daily as the excitement continues live from Santa Monica on Lalate.
From Lalate News Headquarters in Santa Monica, this is Mornings Lalate.
And we're back. Really exciting, great news. If you're just joining me, this is Mornings Lalate. 4 major developments occurring across the board today that you need to know. 1, your $1,400 third stimulus check will be called for a vote in the Senate today. Number 1. That vote could pass as early as today. The bill could land on the president's table by the end of the week and become law as early as the end of this week. The vote will pass among the Democrats. They have enough votes. It'll then go back to the House, voted on the same day, and then to the president's table on the same day. We could have a law by the end of this week. That could mean stimulus checks could go out as early as the end of this week. Really insanely great news. That's item number 1. Number 2, we start the new day with breaking developments from the White House. That the White House has now made a concession with moderate Democrats, which basically means we have a deal. We have a bill, we have a law. The deal was to reduce not the $75,000 income threshold for the third stimulus check, but to reduce what's called the phase out, the number that's above that. I never cover it too much on this channel because it's not much of a topic of discussion, but it was normally $75,000 or less, you get a $14 stimulus check. $100,000 and $1 more, you don't. I don't usually talk about that $100,000 number on this channel. So the president got a call from moderate Democrats saying, you know what, we want to reduce that $100,000 number. He said, what number you want? We want to stop the stimulus check at about $80,000 for single individuals instead of $100,000. He said, deal, done. He said, good, do I have your vote? Yeah, we're done. We're passing the bill. That's the amendment, and we're done. We're taking out $50 minimum wage. Done. This is huge. It's not so much huge because of the amount, the number. Thank you for those massive super chats. It's not so big as the amount of the number. The big thing, the huge, and this is really exciting news, I'm just besides myself, is because he now has all the votes. There's no dissenter. There's no fringe Democrat on the edge, on the fence. They got it. They got it. They got the 50 votes. We're done. I did not think that the moment we started the voting day that we would have this universal agreement on something like this. This is what Chuck Schumer wanted. He said we need strong relief to go into the economy so that we continue on an upward path of our own. That's what this bill is designed to do. Basically, the day is starting Wednesday with total unanimity of the Senate with their president, VP Harris. Thank you, Daryl, for becoming a Purple Hawk, and everyone else. And welcome, Maria and Michael in the commercial break for becoming a Purple Hawk. And welcome to all the new members. You have this alliance, this agreement to get it done. This is just the first breaking development that I love. Can you imagine? I'm just on the first one. Okay, what's the second one? The second one is that 11 Democrats yesterday and again today said, you know what? We'll give you the vote for the third stimulus check. The third? We'll give you the vote for the third on the proviso, on the agreement that the fourth one, when you get that fourth stimulus package bill, there is one, by the way. If you've been watching, tuning in, you know when and where it's happening now. When we do the fourth one, thank you for the super chat. It's Sandy King. I really appreciate it. When we do the fourth one, there must be in there, and I'm using their words, reoccurring stimulus checks. Wow. Hashtag MSC. This channel, in about September started trending with hashtag MSC, hashtag thank you Kathy, hashtag SS200, and hashtag FPUC Retro. Every tweet that has come out of this channel has been those three hashtags. Did you think that when I launched the new LLA last Friday, that within 48 hours, thank you Joshua, within 48 hours we would see 2 of 3 hashtags winning in the Senate? This is huge. If you've not subscribed, hit that subscribe button right now. Also like this video. Now, as to FPUC, there was some chatter yesterday. It's not mainstream chatter. It's fringe chatter from Ron Wyden, who called for FPUC and UI and PUA to expire in September instead of August. Don't know what's going to happen with that, but that is where that's happening. Meantime, the Federal Reserve is certainly looking at the new data that came out today. This is Jerome Powell, head of the Federal Reserve. Private payroll growth numbers came out this morning, and they were not particularly good, which would signal the need for that fourth stimulus package. Companies added 117,000 positions for the month of February. Dow was expecting double that amount, nearly 225,000. This is not a good number. The ADP report says it's a disappointment given the drop-off in coronavirus cases and the lifting of containment measures, said Paul Ashton, chief U.S. economist at Capital Economics. Trade numbers, where across this country did the numbers land? It showed that trade added 48,000. Education added 35,000. Hospitality added 26,000. The sector is now down 3.8 million positions from a year ago. Wall Street's not happy with this, down 4 million jobs from a year ago. With the pandemic still in the driver's seat, the service sector remains well below its pre-pandemic levels. However, the sector is one that will likely benefit with reopenings and increased consumer confidence. The question is when? The question is when, and what does this mean for your stimulus? You know what it means for your stimulus. It means that while we're working on third stimulus right now, jobs aren't there. And while we're working on great news about the vaccine, wow, 2 members joined in. It's Purple Hawks right there. Let me see if I can get them the shout out. That was Spirit Bride and Keith G. Everyone welcome. And there's Martha in the room. And there's Paula. And there's Martin. And there's Paul Davis. Martin Bowen. And there's Crystal Crayola. And there's Tammy Hines. And Lisa. What does this mean? It means that yesterday's news is suggesting a trailing. What is a trailing? Oh my goodness, there's Adrian joining as well, or Adam Flores. Welcome, everyone, welcome Adam to the family. It means the following, that if you look at the vaccination news broke yesterday, early yesterday, and the vaccination news by the end of the day, not enough to show that we are where we need to be, causing the demand for a fourth stimulus package. The news yesterday morning broke on this channel was that the president allegedly had brokered a deal with Merck, U.S. pharmaceutical giant Merck, to manufacture and distribute Johnson & Johnson's new vaccine approved the day before, which is that single-dose vaccine, basically called the workhorse. And by the end of the day, we had that confirmation. The end of the day also started with the president making the major announcement that because of that Johnson & Johnson single dose, which you don't have to do a dose, wait 28 days and do another dose, America would be fully vaccinated by the month of May. 2 months earlier, the month of May, 2 months earlier. This means reopening across the country. This means a little bit more normality for business enterprises, and for your jobs, you would have jobs. But what about your wallet? What about your wallet? And when would the job growth return? Well, the numbers out of the Dow this morning suggest that we need this stimulus right now, because the private sector did not generate the type of jobs we thought we would see in the month of January, even as lockdown restrictions were lifted. Dow's up 86 points at the moment. NASDAQ's down 138. Microsoft's down $3 to 230. Walmart's down $2 to 128. Tesla's down 4 to 682. The White House is doing all stops it can to get stimulus out. If you're just joining me, let me tell you the big update. The President of the United States could sign into law a $1,400 third stimulus check bill as early as the end of this week. The President, over the weekend, said we're not going to play games. We're calling this for a quick vote in the Senate. I want every Senate Democrat to vote in favor of it. VP Harris will break the tying vote. And we're not doing any other amendments. We're taking out the $15 minimum wage and we're passing it ASAP, right away. The voting started today with the president getting a call early in the day asking, would he agree to the reduction of the phase out, not the $75,000 income qualification for the stimulus check, but the phase out. He said yes, if you get it passed right away. They said yes. This is huge. Bottom line, translation, the $14 third stimulus check bill has 100% approval from the Democrats, number one. Number two, it's going to get passed as early as today. The voting will start as early as today. The bill will become law as early as this week, which means the stimulus check could start going out as early as this week. Under the second stimulus package, thank you, Susan. Under the second stimulus package, the $600 stimulus check went out 3 days after becoming law. So just sort of visualize that time frame in your mind. That's the first item of great news. The second item of great news started yesterday as 11 Democrats and moderate Democrats, in addition to progressive Democrats, wrote the president a letter saying we will give you the support for this bill if when you do the fourth stimulus package, which you're currently writing, you do the following: reoccurring stimulus checks. That's the second major breaking news. The third huge great news across the land as America starts to reopen came from Elizabeth Warren, who Monday introduced a wealth tax, which could fund, thank you, Susan, for the super chat, fund everything that everyone has been asking about, that $2,400 of SSI, SSDI, Social Security, and railroad benefits. How does that work? It's coming up right after this broadcast in just 3 minutes as the continuation of Lalate unfolds. Stay with me for more.